Good morning, everyone. It is true, I'm usually in black, so pink is a special occasion, and I am here to entertain with my contestants here, who will join me in a moment. Welcome to Beat the Buzzer, a rapid-fire marketing session where we're talking some of the biggest, most debated topics in our industry and forcing two very smart, may I say brilliant, marketers to answer these questions in 2 minutes or less. So basically, it's a panel discussion with a shot clock. Think Knicks game 4. If you know, you know. I'm sorry, Spurs, but we're in this city, so whatever. The conversation today will jump from personalization and privacy to MarTech, tech stacks, generative AI, influencer marketing, and the future of marketing itself. The rules are simple. First, no, it depends. I know that is our emotional support. We love it in life, in work, in everything. But today, a side must be picked. Second, when the buzzer hits, we move on. If someone's mid-sentence, mid-career defining thought, I don't care. The buzzer has spoken, you're done, cut off. And third, answers need to be quick. The session is 20 minutes. This is not a TED Talk. We are looking for sharp takes. Both contestants have been thoroughly warned multiple times about this. So you guys can all support me in that. Now, let's bring up the contestants. First up, we've got California Senate Women of Distinction, ANA Email Marketer of the Year, self-proclaimed Miss Movable Inc., and she's actually coined the phrase that countdown timers are the gateway drug to Movable Inc., and I hope I don't get fired for saying that. Welcome up, Kelly Haggard, VP of Marketing Innovation at Synchrony. Our next contestant is a 2025 Movable Icon Award who was there to actually accept his presentation. Top 10 media and entertainment marketer of 2024, amateur dog tag punter-in-chief. You can read the rest. He owns 2 patents related to customer personalization, and apparently he's handed out bingo cards, which was not on script and a surprise. Please welcome up Gary Kamikaze.
Me?
Second half is up.
Okay, for the bingo cards, really quick, if you hit new, it'll change it up for whatever reason. It was generating the same one, so if you hit new, it'll refresh your card.
Okay, if you know Gary, this is Gary. And so he's already throwing me for a loop, but that's okay because I got the buzzer. Well, you got the buzzer, but I got the timer, and I will. Okay, that's what it's gonna sound like, folks. And now that we are all situated, I'm gonna get my timer started. We're gonna start with zero-party data. Marketers love the idea of customers telling them exactly what they want. Meanwhile, we're often thinking as consumers, I just came here for 20% off. Now you want to know my life story? So the question is zero-party data the holy grail, or are customers too tired to actually give us their data? Your buzzer doesn't work, Gary. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's rigged.
I think, zero-party data is still important, but it's the recency of it. I think you can't take that first-party data, put it into your CRM, and then expect to trigger off of that endlessly. There's a point at which the data is no longer valid, and so something like Movable Inc.'s live polling, that continuously do it. Don't do it once, take that data, and then build a campaign that sits in market for a year plus. Like you've got to, once they've bought the sofa, they have a small amount of time they need to solve for a table that goes with it. A year from now, 2 years from now, they don't need that, so.
Wow, that was under 2 minutes. So Gary, do you have a rebuttal? I'll give you that.
Great. I would agree that it's not the holy grail. I look at it as it's something that infers and gives us a little bit of insight on the individual. But as we think about building relationships with customers, most customers want to tell you what they want and what they like. In the case of take music where I'm at, great, we can do a bunch of inference on the type of music you like, but you can just tell us and say, here's the artist I like and I don't like, and that is a way better way of building that relationship and giving them what they want. So I think once you've established a relationship, it's better just sometimes to ask them and let them, as opposed to being so smart with AI and machine learning models and kind of trying to figure it out without them just telling you.
Okay, I gotta say, you guys took my direction extremely well, and so that was also under 2 minutes together. So
And you were worried.
I was very worried because these two are storytellers, and I was
Wait till the
like,
story comes.
we don't want to hear the stories. Okay, so
Time.
we're next up, privacy and prediction. Every marketer, we've heard the last 2 days, wants better personalization. Every legal team, I know from my GC personally, wants to sleep better at night. Those are both noble goals and very much at odds. Can you truly innovate while being 100% compliant, or is playing safe simply losing the race? Okay, Gary, go ahead.
I got this one. I don't think they're really at odds with each other. I think as we understand privacy, like you can still innovate. Privacy and some of those compliance rules are more for guardrails and making sure that we're maintaining the customer's trust with what we do. But you can still be innovating with AI. You can still be building, whether it's better understanding of the customer, looking at how they engage with you, all of that information, and just augmenting the work that we do. You can also innovate in terms of the speed and velocity at which you create and run your campaigns. So I think innovation's there. It's more just to understand, like, how do we maintain that customer trust with the data that we do have, and making it, something that we can live in a happy land with legal. Even though sometimes they want to, put a downer on things like bingo cards and storytelling.
I'm not a lawyer.
But you're like, it's
that
the
was
rules,
just-
Gary. It's the rules.
That was just a surprise,
Got it.
and apparently it's not working. Okay, we're gonna move on. Kelly, unless you have like a rebuttal.
No, the compliance should be our best friend.
Great, I love it. Let's move on to tech stacks. There are people who want one platform to do everything. Then there's another branch of people who want 30 tools, 5 integrations, and a spreadsheet that is basically holding the whole thing together with glue. All-in-one marketing cloud or best-in-breed buzz? Oh, Gary, I'm sorry, you are losing the race.
Best of breed. We were talking about this earlier. You could go to a place that makes amazing tacos and the burrito's not good. So there's people are the best in everything. And so I think taking that best of breed approach and getting the best out of everybody versus, they checked a box and now they can do something that's similar to the specialized vendor you have. It just makes a better campaign. You have better performance. You want that Cadillac, right? You want that. You want to make sure that you have the best in what you're doing. The one thing I would say is your vendors need to work together. So you've got to get a good partner that is like super on board with your vision of how it all comes together, and they're willing to work together to get there, and don't see each other as competitors. So I think that's the most important part of that.
I think we live in an amazing age of what AI is able to transform. Once upon a time, you were looking for that all-in-one, or as minimizing as many vendors as possible to have that all-in-one. Now I look at it in this new world that these partners are really providing the services and the infrastructure, but AI is allowing you to provide a layer on top. It used to be heavy integrations that you had to do across this, but now with AI, we can have the AI be an orchestrator and it going in and saying, okay, great, let me create this email campaign in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Let me go create this push campaign in Twilio or whatever partner that you have. And so it's removing that need of like, I want to have everything centralized and I can, worry more about like, hey, what's going to be the best solution for me? And these are just become infrastructure pieces, whereas AI is able to coordinate and orchestrate across you, minimizing how much, okay, does this partner play nice together? And so I think best of breed is definitely the way it's going, and I think AI is just helping facilitate that much more to make it easier to mix the different companies and brands and solutions that you need.
Okay, well, we finally ran out the clock, which is great.
But I was in time.
I hope everyone brings that taco analogy home. Okay, generative AI and creative. AI can generate 100 subject lines in 10 seconds. We've heard a lot about this. The question is whether they should see the light of day, any of them. Is AI generated copy a breakthrough at scale, or are we creating a sea of sameness? Go ahead, Gary.
I think it is a breakthrough. I think there's a lot of worry about this sea of sameness and kind of as it looks at the rest of campaigns and things that are happening out in the world. But it is such a tool for augmenting what we do. If you ask me to think of 10 subject lines, I could probably get 3, 4, 5. But now AI is able to say, like, great, here's a bunch to select from. And it's easier for me to kind of read and select. I have to still be the creator. I still have to understand the voice and tone. But I'm allowing the AI to do a lot of that work and augmenting what I'm doing and creating varieties and allowing you to improve the personalization because it can tailor more to personas versus, okay, asking the copywriter just to come up with a bunch of variations. So I see it as really augmenting and enabling us to have better content and creative as long as the human is still in the driver's seat and being able to help ensure that the AI is creating that brand and vision and experience that you want.
Okay, everyone knows here I couldn't pay Gary to say that, but that was basically a pitch for DaVinci, which was perfect, and so thank you.
You said I couldn't say anything about Movable Inc. and their tools.
That's not what I said. I had some very other direct feedback for you. Okay, let's get into influencer marketing.
I'm going to give Kelly a chance to rebuttal or say?
I agree with him.
She agrees. I remember. We did rehearsals, guys, okay? And I see my clock in front of me. Let's get into influencer marketing, a channel that has convinced many of us, myself included, to buy things we did not need from people we do not know while lying in bed at 11:43 p.m. I know I'm not alone here. I hear some giggles. My husband complains about my Amex bill on the daily. Is it a legitimate performance channel or a vanity metric money pit? Sorry, Gary. Kelly, go.
Both. I think I've seen things and I bought it because an influencer was using it and it looked cool. And there's other times where it's just cringy, and I've done the opposite of not buy it because of the influencer. I think you've got to be careful of what your influencer does when they're not promoting your brand, and it's a little bit of a liability. So it's like influencer marketing, yes, but proceed with caution.
Do exactly what you said, Ali, in terms of how many of us have bought things off of Instagram or TikTok or whatever because of an influencer. Impact is impact. I understand, I agree on the let's be thoughtful of who we choose and make sure it represented. Do I think influencers are authentic? Not so much anymore. Like, a lot of people are just doing it for the business. I think once upon a time it was a passion and I really loved baking, and so, you followed them and then they're like, hey, this is the, cookware that I use, and you're like, oh, that's so great, let me buy it. But I think now just there's so much that people just see it as, oh, this is my job, I'm gonna go make it as an influencer. And while I think it's cheesy, I think it's still, the impact is the impact, and you need to monitor it like any other channel. Same thing if you're doing affiliate marketing or anything else. So it's a channel to be leveraged, and you can be mindful of it, but it definitely has impact, and you should, take advantage of that.
I agree. I think sponsored posts, especially what Instagram has done, has ruined the effectiveness because the consumer just thinks they're getting paid. They don't actually maybe like its products.
But they still buy it.
Not me. Not me.
Oh, you're done with those purchases?
With the ones that say sponsored, yes.
Great. I'll check in with your husband.
Please don't. Okay.
Oh, bingo. Well, come on down.
That is what the cards are for.
That's what they are for.
Gary.
Oh, yep, she's got it. Okay. Thanks for playing. One more prize to be won.
That card is mine. That card is mine. Just by design of you creating this game.
You knew
that
what
was
you were
unsanctioned.
getting into. You knew what you were getting into.
This game was unsanctioned. Okay, I just want to make the record clear for everyone here. Because Kelly didn't have a chance to bring her own game. And that's unfair. So, you have $1 million left. This is tough. You cannot split it 50-50 because that is the exact kinds of responsible answer this format was intended to prevent. Retention or acquisition, buzz now.
Mine sounded.
I think your buzzer's broken, but sure.
I would say, since I can't say it depends, I would say retention I would focus on because it's a relationship. It's a life cycle, not just a moment in time. And so the more you do it, I mean, obviously we hear it's easier to keep someone than it is to acquire a new one. But I would give a caveat to that.
Didn't say it. In that, I mean, certain businesses are purely transactional, and you're not so much in terms of the, hey, I need to build a relationship with them. Like, it's really, I just need to buy this once, and that's it. And so I would say, if that's your nature of business, then great, focus on acquisition. Or if retention is already solid, then but you're lacking on acquisition, make the right business decision at the day.
Anything to add?
No, I would agree with that. With the seasonality type things, but if there was a way, I would still try to carve out a little bit for both. I think acquisition is just costing more and more as we go into things and getting that right customer, that lookalike customer, and there's just so much money to be made from people that are already your customers. So.
Okay, I agree. I mean, listen, I'm all in on retention. I think easier to retain the people you've already got and get them to spend across the business. And surprise, surprise, we have time for a bonus round because you guys have been so great with your timed answers. What is one best practice in lifecycle marketing you no longer believe in and want to put to bed? Okay.
I didn't wait on that one.
I didn't wanna say
That it's linear, that life cycle's linear. It goes up and down and sideways and backwards sometimes. I think there's not a linear life cycle path that your customers follow. They do things you didn't expect, and I think people are too caught up on like, here's the set next step for a life cycle journey.
I would say the thing that I would say is it's not just the conversion that matters most. Right? I think a lot of campaigns were just like, okay, did they convert or not convert, and we focus on that. But just like we said, it's a life cycle. It's a journey. It's a relationship with a customer, and that we need to be looking, things like whether it's the lifetime value or how do they engage with you over time, and what's the value that they have to your business, as opposed to being like, great, I got that conversion, let me move on, and that campaign's a success. Because if they got a conversion, but it's a low intent of a relationship, and your business is predicated on a long-term relationship, then you haven't necessarily won.
Okay, this one's going to be 1 minute because I didn't set the timer on the last one, and I feel like that ran long. So alternatively, what is one hill you will die on in lifecycle marketing? Buzz.
Oh!
Give it to her later.
Oh, go for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
One hill I would die on. The ideal day of the week to send out an email is not relevant. There's again, because it's not a linear life cycle and your customers are going all over the place, backwards, forwards. I think about, people ask that all the time, the best day of week, the best time of day to send out an email. It's really dependent on that individual. This is, some stuff like send time optimization come into play. So when someone asks like, what's the best, maybe not Lou.
You kind of stole my outro, but that's okay. And Gary, I'm not.
What?
I'm not good.
Okay.
No,
Great.
we have 24
One more
seconds
question.
left, and we got to close it out now. Gary and Kelly, though, thank you for being fast, honest, and impressively semi-compliant with the rules of the game. And the way we structured this. And Gary, I'm looking at you, I have deep gratitude. I know asking marketers not to say it depends, and I know there was a caveat in there. It's basically emotional warfare, and you are both champions in my mind and heart always. My gratitude to you both. What I love most about this conversation is that it captures exactly where marketing is right now. More data, more AI, more channels, more pressure than ever before. And still a room full of people, like Kelly said, trying to figure out whether Tuesday is the best day to send an email, and the answer is it's not. So frequency is the way to go. The takeaway is clear. The future, if you've been paying attention the last 2 days, or we're day 1.5, the future of marketing is smart, it's fast, it's personally, and it is most definitely AI powered, and still very much dependent on humans and good judgment and instincts. That is the marketer and machine at play. So please join me in giving a huge thank you to our contestants who came in jerseys, not of their choosing, And to Gary for this game that he created on the spot without any sort of approval.